I want to cut across right now to Nikhil Naz. And that's the sad part and the irony of it all, Nikhil. Because yesterday we were in the studio at the same time what one thought would be celebrations at the end of the day. Glory in sport to be celebrated today of where you stand, and what turned around was absolutely tragic, Nikhil.
That's right, Preeti. I think on a single day, I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, of course, the spirit of people in Bengaluru turning up in large numbers to cheer their team that had won a title. The bad was that majority of those fans did not get a chance to catch a glimpse of their favorite players because of how badly managed it was. And the ugly was actually seeing people that had fainted being carried off by security personnel in their hands because there were no ambulances on standby to take them to hospitals. We saw that up close. In fact, me and my camera person were in the middle of the stampede when it happened. It happened right outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium, outside the Cubbon Park metro station. And we were also trying to make our way through, and it started with a bunch of fans celebrating on one side, the other bunch trying to get to the other side to get a chance to get inside the gates. And in all that commotion, we did see a lot of people, succumb to this stampede, especially women and young kids. The one image that stays with me is of a young girl, no older than 15 years. She was being carried out by 3 security personnel because there were 2 ambulances on standby inside the stadium, but because the people that had fainted, the number of people that had fainted had been large in number, so the ambulances had taken them out, and then there were no ambulances available. So 3 private security personnel were lifting that girl up and running on the road because right outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium, no cars could come because the crowds had gathered. So there was no possibility of getting a private vehicle in also instead of an ambulance. So they actually ran about 500 meters to the main road where there was regular traffic running, and then tried to request people to take the girl to the hospital. But what I heard later from the organizers that it was too late. So she's one of those victims of the stampede. So as I said, I mean, it was going to be a day. I have somebody with me, a girl who went there, and she was talking to me. She wanted to narrate the ordeal that she went through as a woman, as a fan of Royal Challengers Bengaluru, trying to get inside the stadium. What did you experience?
So basically when it started, it was a moment of celebration, and we were really excited to see the players and what's going to happen inside. But as soon as we reached, it was more of celebration and more fear for girls. So we literally couldn't even enter, and even after entering, after a lot of struggle, we could just see being pushed here and there was no respect. So, and we couldn't see any police people around us or anywhere where we could actually go to ask for help. So we just have to find a way, and the metros were closed. We couldn't rush back or anything. We were pushed, literally pushed. Somehow, I think most of us managed to come out of it. And right now, we are glad that we didn't see the players inside. We just saved our lives. And we didn't actually were part of that celebration inside. Because after we reached inside, it would be even worse to get out of that.
What did you see outside? Did you see young kids, young girls?
Yeah, kids we're not even seen in that crowd. Parents were literally finding their kids. Seniors were running away that we don't want to be part of this, please let us go out. But the youth were just in the fun that we just want to see the players. They literally didn't care what's happening, or we should just rescue them or help them out. We could see people climbing the trees, climbing the towers. No one was bothered. Like, players became the only thing in their mind and the celebration. Yeah, but it was really bad. Like, we wish that this never happened. That, the rally or the parade never took place. And it was as normal as usually when RCB wins.
Imagine now these are those fans that waited 18 years for a team to win, but you heard from this young girl saying now she wishes it never happened. This parade did not take place. I'll just mention a couple more points, Preeti, that I did experience. There were entry from about 12-13 gates you could enter, but the number of security personnel were very less. Now what usually happens during a game, you have the barricading, there are entry points, you have to show your tickets. None of that was there this time, maybe because there was no game and they did not prepare themselves like that. And the other thing is, during a game, the capacity is about 30,000. So only people with tickets turn up. Here, because there was no sort of communication as to who can come in, people thought it was first come, first basis. So any number of people could be allowed in. So 3, 4, 5 times the capacity that can really be handled by the security personnel or the stadium staff turned up at the ground. And that's why you had a situation where there was stampede, where people were trying to get in no matter from whichever corner. And I must also tell you, I was lucky enough to escape the stampede. We were also lucky enough to enter from a VIP gate. Rest of the gates, roughly, and I did see regular gates, there may have been 10 to 15 police personnel, but each gate there were about 10, 15,000 people trying to get in, and only 10 odd police personnel manning
Right.
those gates. But the VIP gate, where there was hardly anybody trying to get in, we were lucky enough to get in from the VIP gate. That had more than 100 police personnel, ensuring that VIP cars are allowed in without any hindrance. So that is how the security was also spread
Right.
out on the day.
I want you to stay on with me, Nikhil. First up, we're really glad, that you and your camera person are fine. It's tragic of the story that you related of the young 15-year-old, because sometimes as reporters, we bear testimony to the most heart-rending scenes, and then we carry it for the rest of our lives. So I'm sorry for what you saw. We're sorry for that loss of that 15-year-old child.